What's up, Dokkan player? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Blaze. Today we are back with another Dokkan battle video. And today, before we start the video, of course, hope you guys having a very good day today. And today we have here the Earthlings category Super Battle Road. This one here was pretty tricky, but actually with this team build, I actually got it my first try. So in total, I did about probably 4 or 5 tries. But then this was the winning team here. And the reason why is because I figured, like, during my tryouts is that Videl, if you don't have that rainbow status, you can't really depend on her as in terms of damage here. Now, one thing you will notice that my team is mostly composed of free-to-play characters. Only Tien and Videl are actually going to be here. The characters who are not free-to-play, right? The rest are going to be free-to-play. We have Master Roshi, we have Krillin, we have Oob, we have Hercule. Like, those characters actually carry the team here, right? And the reason why is because of what they bring with their passive. So of course, Master Roshi is like the MVP. Now, in my strategy, what I want to do when you are facing 2 characters, the best way I found is to just focus on one character and leave the other characters stunned, sealed, or debuffed, right? So because we actually have a ton of physical units here, we are able to actually take out Mr. Popo very quickly. And I also decided to go for the 18 key super for Krillin, just to make sure we can take care of Mr. Popo. Now, fortunately, you know, it does happen here. It is based on RNG, but Master Roshi decided not to stun Kami here, which was kind of an issue, just because Kami does hit actually pretty hard. But the good thing is that we do have characters that can also debuff. So the moment that Kami is debuffed, he is no longer a threat except for his super attack, right? So there goes Kami with 14k type disadvantage. That's actually quite a lot in Super Battle Road. But because Videl can do that double super and is also super effective in all types, we can actually take care of Mr. Popo. Right now she's type neutral because we did not dodge, but we actually got that double super. So, and now we can actually now just focus on Kami. Tien with the additional super. Again, Tien is really good for Super Battle because again, he does greatly lower attack and he also has a chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. Now I also brought here Hercule as well, and the reason why is because Hercule, as you guys know, he's a free-to-play character and he's very easy to get, but Hercule also has a chance to stun the enemy. But if he decides not to stun the enemy, he actually does debuff the enemy for 3 turns. And on top of that, he has a 50% chance to dodge once he gets hit. And after that, he does also greatly raise attack and defense. It's mostly for the attack here that I'm more interested. I mean, sorry, the defense here. But he does greatly raise defense after he super attacks, right? So, again, Hercule is a fantastic option if you don't have the int one, if you are a free-to-play character, right? So there we go with Master Roshi. Unfortunately, no stun again, which is fine. But now we have here another super attack. So this one should stun. Because Master Roshi, I believe, has a great chance to stun the enemy, which we do get. But also do keep in mind, we actually did not take that much damage. Because we did debuff Kami quite a lot with the other characters, right? Oob is here for the extra healing because what I've noticed that in this run here, you can get catched with a very nasty normal attack. Because in the last phase, or actually in any of these phases, these guys hit pretty hard with their normals. So there is a good chance that you could fall below 40% and you don't have Master Roshi on the same rotation. So this is why we brought Oob for that extra healing here, right? So now we have 2 characters that can actually heal. We have multiple characters that can stun and can also debuff the enemy, right? So this was actually very, very simple. Again, this is the second stage. Again, we have another int unit, so that means we just have to focus on Supreme Kai while we debuff or stun here Kibito Kai. So I decided to actually try and take a risk here because there's 2 int attacks in the front, so I could not bring Hercule. But look at Hercule with the beautiful key. He's just really good. And now I decided to give the stun here to Master Roshi to try and stun Kibito, because if we can stun Kibito, pretty much Supreme Kai is going to be done in 2 turns, right? Because again, we have multiple characters who are physical, and we also have Videl who can also be super effective and just take out Supreme Kai with a double super. Now, the rotation with Videl and Tien is like a godlike rotation. And the reason why is because they actually are kind of meant for each other in the Earthlings category because they're both part of Majin Buu, right? So, there we go with Master Roshi with a beautiful stun. Now, I did not take noise to my Dokkan meter, so I probably would have finished this run much more quicker if I actually was not going for the same type key spheres, because I believe we actually get the Dokkan attack, but we actually got the stun here, which is really good. We are getting super from Supreme Kai, but that's completely fine because we have type advantage here. And now we're taking 13k, right? So again, we have here Kibito is going to be, of course, stun here for 2 turns and also debuff. So now we can actually just focus on what's his face here, on Supreme Kai here, right? So luckily there's no attacks in the front, so now I can put Tien in the middle, and if I do, I can debuff Supreme Kai and also potentially as well stun him for the turn here, right? So there goes Videl. Again, this is a very good rotation because do keep in mind Tien is also supporting Videl, right? He's providing 50% support defense and I believe 30% attack from his passive. And also, as in terms of links, they do share here Courage, Fierce Battle, and Cold Judgment. Cold Judgment is a very good link, especially for Videl. So defense is actually really good here. So there we go. I mean, unfortunately, we're not able to stun here Supreme Kai, but we are going to double buff him. I'm not too worried from a super attack, but we're still taking 57k, even though he's debuffed twice here, right? But that's a-okay because we do have here the revival mechanic from Master Roshi. So, like I said, if you are in trouble, we do have here the characters that can actually heal us up here, right? So, again, I want to try and get one more stun here before we actually get the revival, but the thing is that there's just so many attacks in the front, I don't think we can actually survive unless Master Roshi decides to, to actually dodge every attack here. So we do get supered, we take 106k, we're still alive. We do actually dodge one attack, but we get another super attack. So now this is where we get the revival mechanic, and again, this was pretty much simple, right? You could use the Chaozu method. The only problem is that I feel like you need to have Videl probably 79% or Rainbow, because if you have Videl 55%, then you do have to finish out the enemy very quickly, and sometimes that cannot be sometimes it won't always happen here. And if you actually get Chaozu on the same rotation, then and he doesn't have a stun, then you are in trouble because one normal attack can do from 150 to 200k damage, right? Depending on the enemy that attacks Chaozu. So, I mean, I did use the Chaozu method at first, but it just became very inconsistent because I was not able to kill off the enemy as quickly, right? Just because I don't have Videl rainbowed. Videl is not really needed, I would say, but she is a big factor when it comes to damage, right? Because you can see we are taking 60k from a normal. So, if you have her fully rainbowed, she's probably going to take maybe like 30k, 40k, which is a huge difference, right? Compared to 55%. But do also know that she's also doing way more damage at Rainbow. So, I mean, again, I would say you could use the Chaozu method, but you have to make sure that at least your Videl is 79%, in my opinion, or Rainbow, right? So we do take care of Supreme Kai, which is really good. So now we can focus on Kibito Kai. And Krillin comes in with the beautiful stun. And now we have a free heal from Uba as well. So things are looking pretty good here, right? So now we have your two characters who can debuff. And one can also stun here as well. So I make sure I give the dual contact to Master Roshi for that extra healing. But now look at our HP. Our HP is back to almost 70%, or probably is at 70%, right? Oh, I decided to give the 12 key super. Okay, I guess I went for the stun here, which makes sense. But yeah, so I go for the stun for Master Roshi. And again, if he decides not to stun, then we still have your Hercule. And if Hercule fails to also stun the enemy, then at least we have your characters that can also debuff, right? Because again, Hercule can also debuff for 3 turns. You can also use the Int Hercule as well. He's actually a very good option, but if you don't have him, then I would recommend you use the LR free-to-play Hercule because he is really good for Super Bad Road. And it's very a shame that, you know, people don't really talk about him, right? But this free-to-play Hercule is actually really solid. So for Super Bad Road anyway, right? Because he does so much, and he's actually really good for the RNG because again, he has a great chance to raise ki, raise attack and defense. So again, Hercule I would definitely recommend for Super Bad Road, right? The also reason why I also brought Hercule as well is because for the last stage you are against Beerus and you're also against Whis, and Beerus hits like a mad truck, right? So I decided to bring another tech unit just to make sure that we can get things under control. So now the Kibito Kai is completely debuffed, so we don't have to worry about anything except for a super attack. But then here comes Videl, and Videl just completely destroys Kibito Kai, right? So there we go. We move on to the next phase at full HP, which is really good. Again, I wanted to save the Dokkan meter for this phase right here, but unfortunately did not play out, so it is what it is here. So now we can see here that there's going to be 3 attacks in the front. So I make sure to put the Tech Hercule in the front here just because we have type advantage. And also once he gets hit, he is going to have a 50% chance to dodge here. So I make sure I go for Beerus, and then I make sure I go for what's his face here, for Whis with Master Roshi, right? Because I figured that what's his face here, Beerus is the biggest threat, so I want to focus on killing Beerus as much as possible, right? So by oh, actually we start the app here because I actually make a mistake here. I realized I did an 18 key super with Master Roshi by accident, so I had to restart the app here. But I want to make sure, again, the strategy is to focus on one enemy and then take out the other enemy later on. So here we go, we restart the app just like this. Alright. And then, yeah, there we go. So yeah, I put Hercule in the front because I believe what's his face here? Beerus is an attack first, which will trigger our 50% chance to dodge. Then I go for Whis with the stun, and then I go back on Beerus with an 18 key super because I want to make sure that we're taking care of Beerus as much as possible, right? So again, you can see here that Whis does 123k of damage. So again, not the greatest, which is completely fine. But now we're able to debuff Hercule, and there goes our dodge. So now all of this kind of relies on Master Roshi to stun here Whis, because if not, Krillin at the back is going to die here, right? So now we're taking 17k from normals, which is really good. And now we can just focus on Beerus the entire time, right? And I think we actually get additional super attack. Yeah, we do. So we actually clutch it out with Krillin here with additional super attack. And by doing so, we actually get here a stun as well on both characters, which is really good. So now things are pretty much, you know, GG's at this point. And the reason why is because now we can just focus on Beerus and then slowly take out Whis. Because you can see here that Beerus' health bar is almost halfway. So with Videl doing those double super attacks, we can definitely take advantage of destroying Beerus here, right? So again, we want to focus on Beerus even though we're type disadvantage with Videl. And then actually go back here on Whis for the debuffing. Because we saw from last phase, he does do, you know, 123k of damage to Hercule. So that is a lot of damage here. So there we go. We take care of Beerus, more debuffing as well. And then here comes Videl with the beautiful attacks on what's his face here, on Beerus. All right, so there we go. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna debuff Whis here again. So now we really don't have to worry about anything too much here, because again, we have Hercule. He has his passive that's activated. Everyone's debuff. Most attacks in the front are going to be AGL, so we can definitely put Hercule in the front. And then we go here on Whis as well to try to get the stun one more time. If we actually get the stun one more time, it's pretty much GG, just because again, we're just going to destroy Whis next phase, right? So there we go. Now we're taking double digits, and now we have our chances to dodge as well. Whis is still doing 27k, which is completely fine. But after we super attack, Hercule is going to also raise his defense again. So this is why I said Hercule is really good. Plus, he's doing a lot of damage here to, what's his face here, to Beerus, right? So we do get super, but it's completely fine because we only take here 55k, which is nothing. And now we can just focus here on Whis. And now we actually don't have to worry about the other characters for Master Roshi or Krillin being supered, because he did super attack here. What's his face? Hercule. So there we go, we got the stun, and now we can just focus on Beerus. Beerus is almost done, and now of course we take double digits because we've been debuffing the crap out of him every single turn here, right? So at this phase here, I am going to go ahead and put Videl in the front, and then I'm just going to have everyone just focus on Whis afterwards, right? Because after Videl super attacks Beerus here, she is going to be here super effective. Oh, she actually dodges both attacks here, which is fine. Alright, so there we go. Now we take care of Beerus. And now it's just a very slow death here on Whis, because now we only have one character. We have multiple characters with healing still. And we also have stunners on deck as well. And by the way, Tien, again, is debuffing. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about this Tien. He's actually a very good candidate for Super Bad Road. And also links up very well with Videl. So this rotation, again, is also really good for Videl and Tien here, as in terms for Earthling category, right? So again, you know, the only thing that we have to worry about is that if Whis decides to super attack in slot number 1, then pretty much it'll be game over. But Whis decides not to super attack. And yeah, Earthling's character was pretty tough, I would say, with my other team builds, because I did use the Chaozu method. But with this team build I did on the first try, and it was just pretty much a very easy win here. So there we go. We actually get the debuff. I mean, actually get the stun here on Whis, which is really good. And I think we're actually going to debuff Whis here for 3 turns, which we actually do. Hercule with the additional super attack, really good. And pretty much it's game over, right? So that's going to be it for the video, for the run. As you guys can see here, this was pretty simple. Very clean run. Again, Oob is also very good for the extra healing. And then there we go. We just take care of business. We put with Fidel spot number 1. We put Chaozu in the middle for those extra links as well. And yeah, pretty much that's going to be it here for the Super Battle, right? So let me know down below your team builds. Let me know if you guys found it difficult, you guys found it challenging. I think this one wasn't that bad once I made this team build. I can probably redo it again over and over with this team for no item run. But the Earthlings category in the book, so now time to move on to the next stages. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, sub for more videos, come down below. And hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!